I worry about my daughter every time I send her to school. I fear sudden bombing. I also fear kidnapping. There are dangerous militias here who cooperate with the occupation and they kidnap the children. I hear so many stories around me, mothers who have lost their children. واحدة منها كانت ل50 يوم في 2014.
أتذكر ذلك، نعم.
أم، نعم. الكثير من الحروب لا تعتبر حرب لأنها ليست عادلة وليست من الطرفين. تكون طائرات دبابات يعني وزوارق بحرية من كل الجهات تقصف غزة مقابل بضع شباب لا يملكون سلاحا كافي، بضع صواريخ ضعيفة كانت معهم. يهجمون على غزة، يدمرون، يقصفون، يقتلون. فهي لا تسمى حرب. لا أرى أنها هي حرب حتى لو كانت قصيرة. هي مجرد تدمير عبثي
أيمكنني ترجمة ذلك؟
وقتل بدون سبب.
حتى مثلا 2014 لم تكن حرب، لا تسمينها بالحرب، ماذا تسمينها بها إذا؟
Like now, it is genocide, short genocide. My dream is simple but big when I think in my situation. Um, I dream of passion project that carries my identity and the story of my people, not just beautiful clothes, but something with meaning, something that provides jobs for women in Gaza, something that shows the world that we are not only a story of suffering.
In a thousand, in a million. We are all Palestinians. In a thousand, in a million. We are all Palestinians. Free, free. Palestine. Free, free. Palestine. Free, free. Palestine. Free, free.
Welcome, friends, comrades, siblings. I'm incredibly honoured to be speaking again to Manar today for our final conversation. For those of you who haven't watched the first two episodes, Manar is a mother from Gaza. She is a mother of two daughters and a to-be son, and also a fashion designer, artist, and former UNRWA lab worker in the field of laboratory medicine. I've been amazed in my interactions with Manar to glimpse the awe-inspiring Palestinian spirit, and I'm deeply, deeply honoured by her joining me today. Thank you so much, Manar.
Thank you, my dear, for asking about us, and um, this means a lot to me. I send all my love to you and all my friends.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, mate. Thank you so much. So, Manar, obviously, the summer is incoming, and a lot of Palestinians in Gaza are living in tents, and obviously, in summer, rats and so on, they become a very big problem. And so, I wanted to ask, this is a question that is impossible to answer correctly, but maybe you can give us an estimate of how many Palestinians in Gaza live in tents according at the minute, according to your estimate, and what help do they receive?
I think you are um, asking me about things. I don't know a lot about this, but in in Gaza, the situation is very difficult. Um, um, as for safety and health, for food, for transportation, but about the lives in tent, on ice. I believe there are now around me 2 million people living in Gaza. As as for the tent, this is my personal estimate based on where I have been and what I have seen in the area where I currently live, close to the sea, far from the border. I estimate that 68% of the people here live in the tent. In Gaza City and Khan Younis, the destruction is much worse. There, I estimate that 78% of the population, three quarters, lives in tent. Let me explain why. The area where I currently live is close to the sea and far from the border with the occupation. Because of this area has been less affected than the area near the border, like my original area. My original area was completely destroyed. All the area close to the border are completely destroyed. You can barely find a single house that isn't destroyed. Because of this, all the people have moved to the less damaged area. In this area where I live now, there are still some houses, but as I said, 68% of people here live in tents. As for Gaza City and Khan Younis, three-quarters of the population live in tents. But I have to be honest with you, I don't go out. I don't go out much. The transportation is very bad. There is so much sadness and misery in the street. Destruction is everywhere, in every inch of land, wherever you look. I went out once to visit my original area. That was enough for me. I have not repeated it. Yeah, this is the situation.
Thank you very much for sharing this, Manar. I think with the news, it's so easy not to fully comprehend what it means, what we see in the news. So thank you so much for sharing that. Um, can you please tell us more about the situation with regards to access to food? So, who or which organizations provide for food or water, and what's the quality of the water? What about heating, warm water, and what about safety outside the apartment?
The situation in Gaza now is very difficult. Regarding food, yes, the market has goods and there are many products, but the prices are extremely high. The people of Gaza are living in extreme poverty below zero. There are no jobs, no work opportunities. Many people have resorted to beginning or standing in very long lines just to get a meal from the world central kitchen. For me and my husband personally, we don't go to any organization. There are so many people around us who need this organization more than we do. We live on the support of our friends. Um, um, as for safety and health, the situation is not safe and healthcare is overwhelmed. The truth in Gaza exists only on paper. It is never applied in reality. Every day, more of my people are killed. I worry about my daughter every time I send her to school. I fear sudden bombing. I also fear kidnapping. So there are dangerous militias here who cooperate with the occupation militia. Yeah, there are dangerous militias here who cooperate with the occupation and they kidnap the children. I hear so many stories around me, mothers who have lost their children with no way to communicate with them anymore. Because of this, I have decided to stop sending my daughter to school. I know now teach her at home myself. Um, Nearly this is the situation. Every day I live in it.
Thank you again so much for sharing. I'm just struck by the Palestinians before this horrible war were one of the most highest literacy rates in the world. So yes, I'm just really struck by it, by everything you've said. Is it possible in your situation to have conversations with family and friends about the future?
Um, yes, I have conversation with and discussion with my family, with my neighbor around me. Not recorded, not for any camera, just real talks about between real people. What can we say about our dreams for the future, about our hopes and wishes, far from misery, deprivation, and the losses of loved ones, far from fatigue and worry. Everyone wants peace, everyone wants rest, everyone wants prosperity and progresses. No one wants this occupation. They have wronged us so much for so many years. But despite everything, despite the destruction, the killing, the tents, the hunger, my people are still holding on to life. They still have dreams for the future. We talk about rebuilding our city. We talk about progresses and prosperity. We talk about a future where our children can live in dignity. We don't talk about weakness. We don't talk about fear. We don't talk about despair or surrender. We are tired, yes, but we are not broken. The occupation wants us to give up, but we refuse. We dream, we plan, we wait for the day when we can build again, not just houses, but a real life. That is the conversation we have.
I mean, I remember before this genocidal war. هل أتحدث بالعربية؟
Okay, حسنا.
أتذكر يعني قبل هذه الحرب الإبادية أم، كل رمضان يبدأون يبدأون حرب على غزة كل رمضان يعني.
نعم،
مم.
عشنا الكثير من الحروب، نعم، لكن كانت قصيرة ليومين، أسبوع. واحدة منها كانت ل50 يوم في 2014.
أتذكر ذلك نعم.
أم، نعم. كثير من الحروب لا تعتبر حرب لأنها ليست عادلة وليست من الطرفين. تكون طائرات، دبابات يعني وزوارق بحرية من كل الجهات تقصف غزة مقابل بضع شباب لا يملكون سلاحا كافي، بضع صواريخ ضعيفة كانت معهم، يهجمون على غزة، يدمرون، يقصفون، يقتلون. فهي لا تسمى حرب، لا أرى أنها هي حرب حتى لو كانت قصيرة. هي مجرد تدمير عبثي
يمكن ترجمة ذلك.
وقتل بدون سبب. حسن.
So I brought up to Manar, she was talking about resistance through dreaming and having hope and having aspirations as resistance against the occupation. And I said, you know, I remember even before this horrible genocidal genocide, that every Ramadan, like clockwork, I said there's a war happening against Gaza, and Manar said, yes, there have been many aggressions against Gaza, many damages and massacres. I don't know if I'm translating that correctly, if that's the word Manar would want to use. I'll ask that. But Manar said she wouldn't describe it as a war because of how asymmetrical it is. That they're using jets and you know strong equipment, and then I'll put a proper translation in the bio. And then on the other hand, it's a group of young men using weak rockets. So it's deeply asymmetrical, and she would not describe it as a war. So Manar, I want to ask, how would you describe what's happening now, and how would you describe the situation before أكتوبر 2023؟ يعني لو ليست حرب كيف ستصفين الأمر الآن، وكيف تصفينه قبل أيضا من قبل المجازر وأنا لا أستخدم هذه الكلمة، لكن كيف ستصفينها أنت؟
تقصدين قبل الحرب وبعد الحرب؟ لم أفهم
نعم، قبل
السؤال.
الحرب وبعد الحرب.
أم... لم أفهم السؤال حقا. أصف يعني الآن لو توقفت الحرب تقصدين؟
لا لا، يعني أنت قلتي لا تسمينها بالحرب لأن الفرق كبير
غير
يعني.
عادلة. نعم، غير
فأنا قلت
عادلة.
كيف. She said it's an unjust difference, so it's not a war. Even before October 7th or Al-Aqsa Flood, I'm saying يعني لو لو حتى مثلا 2014 لم تكن حرب، لا تسمينها بالحرب، ماذا تسمينها بها إذا؟
Uh, like now, it is genocide, but small
Okay.
genocide. Yeah,
So Manar says it's always been a
short.
genocide, but now is even
Yeah,
more. Thank you for that, Manar.
short, short genocide. Just
Short bursts of genocide, short genocide. Mm.
yeah.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Manar, for sharing that. May
Thank
Allah
you.
grant you victory, inshallah.
Inshallah.
What are your dreams and hopes for the future? What needs to happen for these dreams to become reality?
Um, to be honest, um, my dream is simple but big when I think in my situation. Um, I dream of passion project that carries my identity and the story of my people, not just beautiful clothes, but something with meaning, something that provides jobs for women in Gaza, something that shows the world that we are not only a story of suffering, but also a story of creativity, strength, and beauty. I dream of studying fashion management, so I can turn my art into something real, something that helps my family and helps other women. I dream of my daughter growing up in safety, going to school without fear of bombing or kidnapping, playing outside like normal children anywhere in the world. Um, I dream of a home that small but beautiful, warm, beautiful, and soul comforting. My own private space. These are my dreams. But what needs to happen for them to come true? This is the question I need it. Um, First, this war must end, a real end, not truth on paper. A real ceasefire that stops the killing every day. Second, I need to leave Gaza to study. I cannot study fashion management here. There are no university, no resources, no safety. I need a scholarship or a chance to travel. And I need support from friends, from kind people, from anyone who believes in me. I cannot do this alone because it is huge to me. First, I need my people to have the chance to rebuild not just houses, but schools, factories, shops, streets, a real economy. Because my fashion project cannot exist without women who can work, without a city that can stand. I know these are big things. I know they are not easy, but I am still here. I am still dreaming, and I will not stop until my dreams come true, or until I take my last breath.
Inshallah, inshallah, حبيبتي. Tell us about your successful application for a funded studentship at the School of Arts, Goldsmiths College, and about your next challenges to make this happen.
Mhm. First, let me tell you about the conditional acceptance I received. I was accepted conditionally. The condition is I must learn a new language, English, professionally, and score 6.5 on IELTS test. I didn't know if I should be happy or afraid. A part of me wanted to celebrate. This is Goldsmith. This is my dream. But another part of me felt heavy. The condition is very hard, especially in the situation I am living in. I understand why I need English. I know I need it to succeed in my studies, to achieve my dream with excellence and creativity. I don't want to study while my language is weak. I want to be strong in English. But my circumstances don't help me. Let me tell you the truth about my daily life. I am anemic from the hunger we lived through, from the tears. My body is weak. I get tired so easily. And I am pregnant. I take care of myself, my two children, and my husband every day alone. There is no help. Um, and I stand with my family. We are living through a sadness that cannot be described. We lost my brother. We don't know what happened to him. We don't know if he is alive or dead. This pain never leaves me. The daily routine is brushing, washing clothes by hand, cooking with no proper kitchen, cleaning, finding water. Everything takes hours. Everything is hard. I think about studying all day, but at the end of the day, I only study for a very short time. Sometimes have 1 hour, sometimes less. My mind is tired, my body is tired, my heart is tired. So learning English is my learning English to reach 6.5 in this shoes with this pain, with this body feels like climbing a mountain, with no end. But I am still trying because this dream is all I have.
Thank you so much for sharing, Manar. We wish you the best in just in general in achieving your dream with your family.
Thank you.
We really value you sharing your voice so much. And I wanted to ask a final question. About your opinion on the Global Sumud Flotilla and what's been happening with them.
This is make me very sad when I see free people عندما أرى أحرار العالم يتعرضون لكل هذا الظلم دون أن يتحرك ساكن لهم، يتعرضون للإهانة بشكل قاسي مع أنهم لم يفعلوا أي شيء خاطئ. يعني على العكس هم يحملون في قلبهم الإنسانية ويحاولون مساعدة المظلوم. لم يفعلوا شيئا ضارا لأحد حتى يعاملوا بهذه المعاملة الوحشية والإهانة ويؤخذوا للسجن ويستهان بهم. يستحقوا التكريم، يستحقوا الشرف، وليس هذه المعاملة القاسية. كل العتب على رؤساء الدول والمسؤولين والحكام الذين لديهم مناصب، ولكن صراحة مات العتب عندما عشنا كل هذا في غزة ولم يقف أحد بجانبنا إلا القليل يعني من أحرار العالم. صراحة محزن، ولكن لم أستغربه ولم يفاجئني، لأنه ما حدث معنا في غزة جعلني أعرف أننا نعيش في غابة. من يقف في وجه الأقوى أو الذي يتحكم في كل شيء سيحدث له كما حدث في غزة. لن يرحموا أحدا إلا إذا توحدنا وكنا يدا واحدة. هذا هو طريقنا لتحقيق ما نريد ولتحقيق العدل للجميع. لكن مع الأسف نحن متفرقين وسنبقى ضعفاء طالما نحن متفرقين.
أترجم الآن. Manar said, I'm going to include a word-for-word transcription, but Manar said that it really saddens her to see what's happened to them, the humiliation they've been faced and the oppression when they've done nothing wrong, quite the contrary. These free people of the world have humanity intact. They've got a conscience. They should be honored and respected, not humiliated like this. And the blame is on the world leaders who had nothing, didn't step in to protect them. I'm just rephrasing, but it doesn't surprise her because of the impunity that Israel has enjoyed in what it's done to them. And she says she feels like she's realized she's living in a jungle, and the person who controls everything when people stand up to them, they also will be facing repression and أتذكر أيضا ماذا قلتي. Preferably the free people of the world should be united, but unfortunately division is what brings us here. I think that's kind of a rephrasing of what Manar said.